Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Downrow here with another Options and Play video update. Uh, so I'm not going to be talking about the SPY trend. I know that this is something that we've discussed at length many times this year. We also spent some time going over it Monday during our option session. However, it is kind of an interesting week. It'll be an interesting week and a half, really, for the SPY. You can see when I just, I draw these trend lines going back to the fall of last year, I mean, how consistent it's been at the top of this trend, it would fail, right? So whereas the Qs, let's chart. So whereas the Qs, if I draw it, you can see the Qs actually extended briefly through like the top of the trend and reversed back below, right? Spiders never actually got to the top. Came awfully close, never actually got to it, and then ended up pulling back. Spiders have bounced a little bit quicker, and what's interesting about this, right, is that we're heading into a pretty big economic reading on Friday morning with the CPI, so the inflation data, right? And lately, those have been pretty big events. They've really had a pretty large impact on stocks the session that those numbers come out. Also, I mean, because the Fed just changed their tune a little bit, talking about inflation not necessarily being transitory, right? And we got the FOMC rate decision coming up next week, the Fed meeting next week. It's going to be pretty closely watched, and the interesting thing is that the spiders have been in ultra tight trading range since yesterday morning. I know we have one more session, so we got Thursday, and there's a chance that the SPY could, maybe make like a move or dip ahead of the close on Thursday. But something to keep an eye on, because as we get closer to that Friday reading, the longer the SPY stays coiled, it just seems the more likely it is that we're going to get a resolution with like Friday CPI report being the catalyst, right? And I was looking at the weekly option pricing, and this will go through tomorrow. This will go through Friday, so it includes tomorrow. So you have a full day of trading tomorrow, but right now, the SPY straddle was about like 385 or so, give or take. We'll see where it's at tomorrow, late afternoon, going into Friday. But I mean, with the SPY already having a pretty substantial trading range this week, and being in a relatively coiled 24-hour, 36-hour stretch here, it could be setting up for a really busy Friday. So it's something to take a look at. I don't often trade options on economic news like that. To me, SPY Q is more like hedge focused most of the time. But occasionally you'll get like a setup where it can maybe make sense for like a volatility strategy, or maybe like it's like straight calls or even straight puts. So this might be turned into one of those scenarios. So I'm going to be keeping a pretty close eye on this tomorrow, and see what the options look like, see where SPY is tomorrow afternoon, and maybe there's an opportunity for a trade. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading events with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Have a great night, stay well, and we'll talk to you all tomorrow.